has recent legislation painted landlords as the villains of the housing market. In the past few years, we've seen a wave of laws designed to protect the rights of tenants, often celebrated as a win for affordable housing champions. Yet it seems the pendulum may have swung too far in favor of tenants, leaving landlords grappling with a unique set of challenges. From rent control policies to eviction moratoriums and tenant screening restrictions, landlords are finding themselves caught in a web of regulations, all favoring the tenant. These laws, while well-intentioned, often have unintended consequences that end up hurting the very people they aim to protect. So, what does this all mean for landlords, and what impact does it have on the rental market as a whole? Let's delve into these pieces of legislation and examine their effects on landlords. Rent control, a safety net for tenants or a trap for landlords? In an attempt to keep housing affordable, rent control policies often stifle the housing market's flexibility. Landlords find themselves caught in a cycle where they can't adjust rents to reflect market demand or cover rising maintenance costs. This leads to neglected properties, a reduced housing supply, and ironically, decreased housing affordability. The effects of these policies ripple through the rental market, leading to decreased affordability. Eviction moratoriums provide temporary relief for tenants, but what about the landlords? When tenants fall on hard times, eviction moratoriums can be a lifeline. But on the flip side of this coin, landlords are left to shoulder the financial burden. Imagine this. A landlord depends on rental income to meet mortgage payments, cover maintenance costs, and even put food on the table. But when eviction moratoriums come into play, this income stream can suddenly vanish. It's like a river drying up in the heart of summer. The result? Landlords are left high and dry, struggling to meet their obligations. They face the grim prospects of foreclosure or bankruptcy. Some are even forced to sell their properties at a loss, a crushing blow after years of investment and hard work. So, while eviction moratoriums may be a temporary reprieve for tenants, the financial burden for landlords is not. It's a long-term challenge, a double-edged sword that cuts deep into the livelihoods of property owners. Tenant screening restrictions may promote fair housing, but at what cost to landlords? These laws can seriously cramp a landlord's ability to assess potential risks. Picture this. A landlord is prohibited from considering a potential tenant's criminal history or credit score. What happens? They might end up with tenants who cause property damage or fail to pay rent. These restrictions may have unintended consequences, leading to more disputes and less security for landlords. Security deposit regulations may protect tenants, but do they leave landlords vulnerable? These rules, while seemingly fair, put landlords in a precarious position. They limit the amount a landlord can charge for a security deposit and enforce strict timelines for its return. This creates a financial uncertainty, as landlords may not have sufficient funds to cover damages or unpaid rent. This not only discourages property ownership, but also hampers new investments in the housing sector. Without adequate security deposits, landlords are left to bear the losses. Just cause eviction laws may prevent arbitrary evictions, but do they undermine landlords' rights? These laws, while aiming to protect tenants from sudden homelessness, limit landlords' ability to terminate leases without specific reasons like non-payment of rent or lease violations. While they may seem fair on the surface, the reality is that they can leave landlords feeling handcuffed. In some cases, they may feel they've lost control over their own properties, leading to hesitations in renting or even investing in new properties. Landlords may find themselves in a predicament where they are unable to regain control of their units if circumstances demand. These laws may hinder landlords' control over their own units. Tenant-friendly legislation has its merits, but at what cost to landlords and the housing market? We've explored the struggles landlords face, from stifling rent control policies to burdensome eviction moratoriums. We've highlighted the challenges posed by tenant screening restrictions and the financial uncertainty brought on by security deposit regulations. We've also touched on the threat to property rights due to just cause eviction laws. All these issues underscore the need for a balanced approach in legislation, one that considers the interests of both tenants and landlords. Without balance, the rental crisis will persist, exacerbating inequalities and undermining the long-term stability of the housing market. Enjoyed the video? We'd love for you to join the conversation. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, It's Polarizing. As we navigate these complex issues together, your insights and experiences can help shed light on the path forward. Our discussions don't end here. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on our latest videos, ensuring you never miss a beat. So, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell right now, and let's continue this important conversation. Remember, your voice matters.